And if I am who I say I am, and if I'm moving towards who I want to be, then I feel like forgiveness is a part of it. Welcome back to another episode of the Kairika Rashid Show, and I'm so glad that y'all decided to come back for more. So, what's up? Now I know y'all, I'm in this blanket today because here's the thing. It is cold, and a lot of times I am pushing through the cold when I'm filming, but that's why I usually have on a long sleeve. But this time, I didn't feel like it. Also, you could probably hear it in my voice, but we're a little bit sick. We're not feeling well. And this has been going the whole entire week. Yay me. On top of that, the period too. Yay me. So, we're working it out. We're working it out. So this blanket's gonna be here. The good news is that your girl added another ring to the arsenal. You know, we didn't win a little championship or whatever over the weekend, had a little celebration. That's probably why I'm really sick, because we had a little celebration. Mind you, my celebration was minor compared to everyone else's celebration, because you know, I don't really get down like that. I tried. I dibbled and dabbled here and there, but you know, we out here. But you know, I still got, I think today is like a month left, and we got something else to play for. So stay tuned, because if I'm still filming from here, then that means, like in a month, then that means we won again. But if I just all of a sudden just film somewhere else, that means your girl was shipped away and it was the end of the season. But yeah, today's episode, other than that, all the little catch-up stuff, today's episode, you know what's funny? I want to talk about forgiveness today. Last episode, we talked about revenge. So I want to talk about forgiveness. And this episode is going to be about forgiveness because I feel like I've gotten better. But I've always struggled with forgiving when I don't understand why people did the things they did. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I just want to understand. I also had written forgiveness, an episode about it a long time ago, and then I had to revamp it. I had to revive it because the forgiveness I was feeling back then is not the energy we have now. So let's get into it. So what had happened was, now going through the stories that I have, right, there's not just one story I can just provide hella detail with. I feel like in my forgiveness journey, there's a bunch of people that I feel like I've struggled to forgive. So the theme here is going to be people that I've struggled to forgive because I don't understand why the fuck they did what they did. It's giving, why would you do that as well? I'm gonna try to go in chronological order as well. So we're gonna see. So the first one I have is this boy. I'm not gonna say his name. This way back in the day. And y'all, now, somebody gonna need to let me know what's really up with this, because with me, it seems like there's this theme, right? Of like, you're banging my line. You're trailing my tail. You're following me. You're doing all these things. I'm cool, right? You want my attention. You have pursued me heavily, right? I'm cool. And then eventually I'm like, okay, let's see what this hitting for. And then I realized, damn, did we really have to see? So anyways, this boy, he falls into this thing. He was my boyfriend for a little bit, right? And at first, it seemed like, you know, all great, fine, dandy, perfect match vibes, like king and queen of the castle. It's giving corny, but it's giving, oh yeah, y'all fit, right? And we had done the whole back and forth for a long time. And then finally, we made it official. We was cool. And then, you know, after it hit the, you know, the honeymoon stage, what they say, that's like 3 to 6 months. 3 months, first 3 months. Then you get to the 6-month mark. And I don't know, something just flipped. Right? But me, I didn't know this back then, but I just let God do the work, because I ain't finna be investigating and doing all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? But things were happening where the Lord was telling me, girl, this man playing in your face. He's playing in your face. Come on. So, the Lord knowing that I'm not a person who's gonna go through your phone. I'm not gonna ask you intrusive questions. I'm not gonna do any of that, right? The things just started coming to me. One funny thing was like, okay, I told you I'm not a party girl. I'll step out a little bit here and there. But my guy, he was a person who liked to go out a little bit here and there. He'd go out, cool, have a good time. I'm not tripping. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just do your little check-in, whatever, yada yada. Dude goes to a party, but which he's done multiple times, which is fine, because I don't do that. And what's the reason I need to be acting all like, oh, like he's untrustworthy? There's no reason, right? And there was like an accidental confidence that I had, which, or maybe I was just oblivious, I don't know. And he had gone to a party. And my best friend at the time, she said, is that so-and-so? No, actually, I'm telling him wrong. So he had went to a party or whatever, and we had Snapchat. And I'm scrolling through the Snapchat or whatever, and I'm not the investigative type, but if the Lord puts it in your face, what am I supposed to do, right? So I know other people who are at this party, they're all posting on their social media, on their Snapchat. I click somebody's, I do a double take. Now this is how you know it's investigative. This is the Lord. Because it's like people in the front, but there's like a back room, all the way in the back, 2 people. But I know my man's body, his profile, what you look like, what you don't look like, whatever. In the back with a girl. So I double take, and I'm looking, I'm like, that's my man. That is my man in the back. So I'm like, okay. Really interesting behavior. And it wasn't giving innocent interaction, but it wasn't giving fully guilty interaction either, so I didn't want to jump. But I'm like, what are you doing in the back? What are you doing in the back? Another time. Dude said he was going home. I happened to be going to a party one time with my friends. Why, when I get to the party, who's there? He is there. My man's is there. So I'm looking at him, he looking at me. We do like an awkward embrace. Because one, I'm not one to cause a scene or gonna trip out. Also probably held my tongue a lot more back then, which was probably not good, right? We do an embrace. He keep on keeping on, and I keep on keeping on, but it's like, are you not gonna interact with me either? Weird behavior, right? My fault. I let it slide. Then, this is like the third thing. He had been out, and my guy, you know, where I'm from, Oregon, weed is, you know, it is what it is. I grew up around it. It is what it is, but I was like the anomaly because I never did it. And I just figured it's around me at all times. It's always gonna be there. Like, it's accessible. You know what I'm saying? If I want it, I can have it type shit. So I wasn't doing it. And then he wasn't doing it either, right? Till my best friend at the time, she calls me up. She's like, girl. I'm like, what's up? She is funny for this. I wonder if she remembers it. But she like, girl. I'm like, what? She like, I just seen so-and-so. I said, my man? She's like, yeah. I said, where? Man, he was in the car. He was hotboxing. He was up in there hotboxing. He rolled down the window. I was like, is that you? You smoke? Oh my God. Calls me up and I said, are you sure that was my man? That was my man? She said, Kai, I swear to God, I swear on my nut, I swear on da-da-da, that was him. That da-da-da rolled his window down. They was up in there hotboxing. Mind you, him and I had a conversation about it because we were, you know, I don't know, like, you know, the perfect match type thing. Like, we both played sports, we both had good grades, like that type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And we had talked about it, and I was like, no, but like everybody in my family does it, so I don't know if I'll ever do it, but like, I don't trip if people do it or whatever. Like, I don't see it as a big deal. He told me he didn't. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But like, would you? He's like, nah. Okay, cool, whatever. I don't care if you said yeah. So after my best friend at the time comes and she tells me this, I go, hey. I say, hey, so-and-so, my friend, she said she seen you. He like, where? Where she said she seen me at? She said, you was blowing. You was blowing for real. He go, no, I wasn't. I told you I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I said, whoa, bro. Whoa, buddy, relax. Chill. I'm not accusing you of anything. But I'm pretty sure she saw you. Like, and if you smoke, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. Whoa, buddy. Why are we getting aggressive and angry? I don't understand. I said, okay. I'll leave it be. I'll leave it be. Because I'm like, what are you getting mad if you smoke? If you smoke, you smoke. Relax, bro. Like, relax. Relax. Like Ari Lennox. And then I think one other thing happened was like, I don't go through phones, and I had happened to like grab his phone and look at something. Man started tweaking out. Mind you, it's something I've done plenty of times. There was never a tweak out sesh beforehand. And yeah, then he tweaked out and I'm like, whoa, buddy, you're tripping. You're tripping. He's like, why are you grabbing my phone? Whoa, bro, whoa. So, needless to say, we broke up. He cheated. He was smoking weed. He was smoking. He was doing all this stuff and getting mad at me and then switching up. And I'm like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? And I even was like, are you trying to break up? Because like, we can break up. He's like, no, I don't want to break up. Why don't you want to break up? You're cheating. You're lying. And you're acting really strange. So he didn't want to break up. So I was like, okay. And then everything came out. And then like, we had to break up. Cause what? What do you mean? What do you mean? What exactly do you mean, sir? So he cheated. He did all this stuff. Obviously never apologized. Then I would see him, right? Mind you, we was cool. We was cool. The families was cool. Mom loved me. Of course, why wouldn't she? Duh. You know what I'm saying? We was all hanging out, chopping it up, watch basketball together. Like, straight cool vibes. Why would you mess that up? That's so corny. So I was heated. Then his mom was texting me years and years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? Love her. She didn't do nothing wrong. She didn't do nothing to me. Me and his sister was locked in. So I was just pissed because why would you just waste all my time and all these years? Mind you, you were banging my line. You were seeking me out. Like, what's your issue, bro? So I was mad and I struggled to forgive him. And I would see him. I would see him and he would try to act like shit was sweet, like we was cool. No. No, buddy. Like, what's going on? So yeah, it was just very cowardly. And I was like, no. Because I leave gracefully, but that doesn't mean I'm not upset. So I was upset. So that was one of the beginning times where I was like, I don't understand that. I don't know if I can forgive you, because why the fuck would you do that? Okay? So that's the story on that boy. So now now that was a little jokey joke, but everything's like a jokey joke, honestly. But we're gonna bring it to my mother, right? So me and my mother, we had a complicated relationship. You know, we talked about briefly how I went through certain stuff, whatever, yada, yada, yada. My mother, right? You know how they talk about sometimes it's hard for you to see your mother as anything other than your mom, but she lives her own life and a life before you. So now in this present moment, I have more forgiveness for the things that she may have been going through mentally and stuff like that. But there are still things that I don't understand. I do not understand, to where I feel like I can't fully forgive. Now I've partially, right? I've moved, I'm not gonna say I moved on, but I've moved forward. We moved forward, not on. So she was primary care physician, whole life, right? Whole life. And when I got to high school or whatever, like, we're all flawed. So like, it wasn't like my mom was like, oh, this is great, oh, whatever. But the point was that she was the primary, like she was a constant in my life, in my siblings' life, whatever, right? And when I feel like my timelines gets blurred, because coping mechanism, we push stuff behind with trauma and then we just try to block it, right? So towards the end, I wasn't really living, end of my high school careers, I wasn't really living at home. I would make pit stops at home or whatever, but I wasn't living there fully. So my mom, she was down bad, but she had always been down bad. You know, she had always had things that were more than just surface level issues or like normal societal, like parental child issues. Like, you know, we have drugs, we have abuse, we have, you know what I'm saying, all those things, right? But towards the end of my high school career, it seemed like it had gotten worse and dramatic, but nothing could have prepared me for her departure. So so basically, after I had graduated, she made it through my graduation, and then she basically just fell off the face of the earth. She had my siblings move in with our dad and decided that she was moving and she was leaving. But she did it very abruptly, and it's traumatic, you know what I'm saying? But I was in college, so I didn't feel it as much or the same way that my siblings may have felt it. But she just left. She left. And it's like, oh, so she was just trying to get me through the finish line. And then she just like left, where it feels like, to me, it's like, oh, so you just like gave up in the moment. Now these are past thoughts. I mean, I guess they could be current too. But so when I get to college, because I don't know, I can't speak from my siblings' perspective too much because it's their perspective, you know what I'm saying? But from my perspective, I was in college and she was chopping it up with me until, I don't know, a point in my freshman year of college where it was like, there was nothing. And the only reason why I knew, because I'm not a very like check in all the time type of girl normally, you know what I'm saying? If I have somebody who's more accountable than I am, then they'll do that. But so it was my birthday. And I don't know if it was freshman or going into sophomore year. It had to be sophomore year, I think. Yeah, so it was my birthday and she didn't say nothing. I hadn't heard from her, but she didn't say nothing. I was like, that's weird. And from that point on, I didn't hear nothing from her. Then I got a call from my siblings, and they was like, have you talked to our mom? Da, da, da. She just called us, and I said, insert the Medea sound. I was like, you heard from, she been talking to y'all? So I felt betrayed in the moment. I'm like, so she been talking to y'all and she ain't been talking to me. Really interesting behavior. Mind you, she had done pop-ups at my school and all this stuff. So it's been a very complicated relationship up to this point, to where now I'd say we don't have a relationship. We don't have a relationship. I haven't talked to her in years. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I have no contact. Her numbers changed, all this stuff, right? So the relationship has always been complicated, but I never expected it to be complicated in the fact that there would be no contact. And that is something I've struggled to have full forgiveness with, because I don't have an answer for why the fuck she just fell off the face of the earth, right? And yes, I have understanding for the trauma and how it affects people and stuff, but for me, I just can't understand. Like, she had raised us pretty much as a single mother our whole lives, and then all of a sudden, it was just like, peace out. So that's another person where I just am like confused. I've grown in the forgiveness, but is it sensitive? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Yes, 100%. But it's like I'm saying, the things with these people is like, things happen and I don't understand how this could happen. So then I struggle to give full forgiveness. Understanding, yeah, I think I can understand. I tried to have perspective, like, of all the things she had been through with us, all this stuff, but some things just don't click with me. Some things don't click. And you know, I feel like maybe it's a disservice if I said something like, well, if I was a mom, I would never do that, because I don't know what it's like to be a mom. Or if I was a mom in this situation. But if I'm going to be honest, those thoughts pass. If I was this would never happen. If this happened, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's just human nature as well. So she's another person where it's like, I don't know what's going on there. So forgiveness is an ongoing battle. Now, we're going to move on to my college, right? I went to college, and I feel like, as we all do, we're pretty naive. We're stepping into new territory. We feel like it might be in the movies. This is how my life is going to be. Also, I was a student athlete, so it wasn't going to be like the movies. But there's a certain expectation I had, right? And also, I think the business side, I feel like a lot of student athletes can realize and attest to this. Like, the business side, you don't really realize how much of a business it is until you're in it. Now, I don't know nothing about this NIL stuff, so maybe you realize it beforehand now. But I felt like I was loyal to my school. I put in a lot of work. Started from the bottom, now we're here type of vibe. Really wanted to bring something there, start something new, lay the foundation, because we literally started from the bottom and we moved on up and we got better every year. And I talked about it, I think, I don't know, a while ago, previous episodes, but the way the end of my career transpired and how, like, I feel like I was treated, I just feel like my heart was broken. I think I had said that one time, like, I think my college broke my heart in how I was treated. Like, if that goes into the administration, that goes into my team, the coaches, like, everyone. I just felt like there was more that could have been done to, you know, stop certain things from happening, more that could be done to acknowledge certain things that happen, instead of being dismissed. I felt like I was like dismissed, pushed away, pushed to the side, and not really acknowledged for certain efforts. And that in itself, it's like, yeah, why do you need acknowledgement from others? You know what I'm saying? But when you really think about it, it's like, we've all thought that at a certain point, I believe, I'd say. And I think a lot of my drive, especially in basketball, has always been because people just don't think I can do stuff. And in NAU, my college, because I didn't say it, they were my only scholarship offer. So I went into it, I'm like, they're the only ones who believed in me. They're the only ones who believed in me. No one else believed in me. So we locked in, no matter the hardships, no matter this, and that, and we gonna do something that nobody probably thought we would do, right? And I think I was just heartbroken by the way things ended because I just didn't understand why it had to go that way. And I had to take like a mental break from like seeing stuff because that's how triggered I was. Like so I moved forward, right? I moved forward. Like I just recently started like looking at, the page and following and stuff again because that's how bad it was for me. Like I just like, ugh. Or like, when people pray for your downfall, you're praying for a downfall. I'm like, I just have that energy right now, like the vengeful spirit where I'm praying for your downfall. And I don't want to have that, so I can't see it. I can't see it. And I'm just like, why did it have to go down that way? But those are things I don't have answers to. And I don't know if I'll ever have an answer to it. So they just like, it's really sad. It's really sad because when I went in, it was one way, but when I left, it was a whole nother. Good and bad. Good and bad. So yeah. And then I talk about sleepers, right? I don't know if I got full forgiveness for sleepers because, when it comes to my certain abilities, like I said, I be getting motivated for people who think I can't do shit. And then I do the shit and then I say, what? What? You know what I'm saying? So the sleepers, I don't know if I have full forgiveness for them either. But, I don't know, y'all. No. But there's a song, I think it's called Forgive Them. It's like, Lord, forgive them, because they do not know what they doing. Forgive them, because they do not know what they doing. Forgive them, because sometimes we just don't know. We just don't know. And the sleepers especially, they just don't know. Or even them boys, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just don't know until you know. Then, I had talked about this person on another episode, but the forgiveness with them is really, it's hard, it's testy. Because why would you just come into my life and do all this stuff and be a constant and then just like not? Just like drop off the face of the earth? So yeah, man. Yeah, that's what had happened. Them is the stories. Them is the rules. So now what? The hard truth is that we're not gonna have the answers to everything. That is the hard truth. And what's so crazy is that's the thing that I struggle the most with. That is the hard truth. Ain't that fucked up? And I said, like, if I have understanding for why something transpired, if I have understanding for why something transpired, I have more, it's easier for me to forgive versus if I don't. Because if I don't have a chance to understand what the fuck happened or your reasonings behind it, even if they're not valid reasonings, you know what I'm saying? I think I could still forgive easier than when I'm just like left on a cliffhanger, wondering like why I turned the page and the book is blank. I don't understand. So I really feel stuck in those moments. I also think that for me to have more forgiveness is also being able to operate in my best self. I think it also brings me closer to God and Jesus, because what do? Forgive us for our sins all the time. Because all we do is just do shit all the time. We always doing something. But big dog gonna forgive. That's one thing about it, two things for sure. Big dog is gonna forgive. But it's really hard. It's really hard to operate in that manner. But I think that it also sets me free in a sense as well. It's like I don't want to be one to hold grudges. I don't want to have it constantly being on my mind. I don't want it to be like when I see you, it's on sight. But sometimes I feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. I also think forgiveness is, for me, more than the others. Because, like I said, then I'm not holding a grudge. I'm not thinking about it all the time. It just is what it is. It's an experience that happened for a reason, and now we can move forward. You know what I'm saying? I also think that to be able to forgive, you're able to operate more in love than hurt. Yeah, because we talked about being vengeful, and I think that's operating in hurt. But I also think that you can forgive even if you're hurt. But it's like, how are we moving about it? How are we moving forward? So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I think you can forgive even though you're hurt. But see, when those stories that I just told you, right? Like, I don't think I have full forgiveness. I have partial forgiveness because it still hurts. So then is it like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And because I believe like forgiveness isn't linear, like it ebbs and flows, I think that it can be in a roundabout thing. Like, I feel like I can forgive you. I feel like I said, I can forgive you and still be hurt, but also like I can forgive you, and that means like we're not locked in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to forgive you from a distance, like stand back, on guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I forgive you doesn't mean we're bestie, buddy again. I forgave you, but like stay over there, not next to me. And it's like, I can forgive you while also like removing access as well. It doesn't mean I'm mad. It doesn't mean I'm upset. But it doesn't mean we can just go back to how things were. Now some can. Some instances, some situations, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ate my food in the fridge. I'll be mad about it, but I can forgive you, especially if you buy me some food next time. You know what I'm saying? I can forgive that. You know what I'm saying? You might have accidentally, oh my God, you might have accidentally been in the grocery store, hit my ankle with the back of the cart. I can forgive that. Will I be mad? Yes. But I'm not going to be plotting on the next time I get the cart. I'm going to smash you with the cart. I've forgiven you. You know what I'm saying? It was an accident. And because I think forgiveness ebbs and flows, I think that there are periods of times like maybe you have to keep doing it, right? I think you might have to keep doing it, because I feel like I forgive, or I can forgive, and I can still get re-mad about it. Like, I may not have thought about it in a cool little minute, but I just thought about it, and that shit really did piss me off. You know what I'm saying? That really pissed me off. But does that mean I haven't forgiven you? I don't think so. I feel like I still have a right to be upset. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes things come up and you're just like, you know what? But they forgiven, so you cool. You cool. Versus if you're not forgiven, then I think it may pop up more frequently. It may stay on your mind. Versus it's far and few with forgiveness. See, but then These is all little so now what processes. But it's like, so then, like I said, I could get mad about it. And I could be feeling like Ricky Rose, God forgives, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I could be feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? God forgives, I don't. Word to Ricky Rose. But do I want to be like that all the time? No. Do I want to be like that ever? No. Because if I'm trying to be more like God, then I have to forgive. I have to forgive. But sometimes it be like that. Straight like that, actually. Like, no. But then I have to hop back in my Jesus bag and say, God forgives, so should you. Then we go through the forgiveness scenarios. It's always like what I want to do versus the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? What I want to do is probably have the vengeful spirit lots of times. But a lot of times where I get through that is journaling, talking it out, or walking it out. You know what I'm saying? All those things, talking to God, talking to friends, talking to fam, talking to myself, to really get that out. Because the right thing to do is to forgive and not hold on to that. And I feel like when I'm on that revenge tip, or when I'm on that real angry tip or non-forgiving tip, I gotta get it out. Because if I don't get it out, then I can't rationalize the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I have to get it out in some way, shape, form, or facet. I have to get it out. Because then I can rationalize, understand, and then be fucking for real about the situation. And go, okay. You know what? That may not should have happened to me. But I can move forward. Versus if I don't get it out, I can't move forward. I can't move ahead. And I might need to talk about it 30 times, 32 times before I moved on. But it got to happen in order for me to forgive. I think so. And if I am who I say I am, and if I'm moving towards who I want to be, then I feel like forgiveness is a part of it. Forgiveness is a part of it. Because we're not just holding on to grudges. We're not walking around mad at the world and mad at people. If I am who I say I am and who I want to be, you got to forgive, baby. You got to. Hell yeah. So we made it. Last segment. So I have a question. How are you moving once hurt pops up? And I mean initially, right? Do you initially jump to forgiveness? Do you initially jump to understanding? Do you initially jump to anger, sadness, upsetness? What do you think you feel initially when something has hurt you? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Is forgiveness easy or hard for you? Or is it in between? Mediano. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. And lastly, WWJD. What would Jesus do? Huh? What would Jesus do? Think about that. Huh? Sit on it. Sip on that. And let me know. WWJD. Once again, this has been another episode of the Kyrie Rashid Show. I'm very thankful that you decided to come back. Get at me.